Hello everybody and welcome back to another blind commentary of Overlord. As you can see, there's the outro time, and yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see in this episode what exactly will happen as a new player has entered the game. It's probably a guild. It's not yet exactly made sure. I'm sure it will be in a few seconds, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how exactly the interaction between them and the Lord Moonga will go. It's going to be quite thrilling to see this. So let us start with the episode proper.
Got it, Senshu! 副長、数人を連れて生存者を選んでるまで護衛せよ。
選手長、
なんだ。
王のご加盟は国境周辺の村を襲う集団を調査し討伐せよとのことでした。
そうだ。
ですが本当にバハルス帝国の騎士たちであったとしても出動を命じられたのはわずか50名。
極秘の任務ということだろう。
貴族どもですね。王の派閥の中でも最も信頼厚き戦士長が失敗すれば王を攻撃する材料になると。浅はかな。
それぐらいにしておけ。
戦士長だってお気づきでしょう。これは確実に罠です。ここで部隊を分断し戦力を減らすぐらいなら一度全員でエランテルまで引き上げましょう。この後いくつの村が犠牲になったとしても最強の剣士であるあなたを失う方が国の損失は大きい。
Interesting.
私は平民出身だ。
私もそうです。
村の生活は死と隣り合わせ。モンスターに襲われるのも珍しくないだろ
う。そうです。
では期待しなかったか。力持つ貴族や冒険者が助けてくれることを。
期待しなかったといえば嘘になりますが実際は誰も現れなかった。
ならば我々が示そうではないか。
This is interesting that they are painting these what will probably become adversaries to our main character in a very, very positive light. It's certainly makes the whole moral question quite a bit more muddled, and that is actually pretty good. It is good to have humanizing moments for the opposition as well. At least I presume that this will be the opposition. I am not exactly sure about that yet, but it's pretty likely.
危険を承知で命を張る者たちの姿を、弱き者を助ける強き者の姿を。
このミラー・オブ・リモートビューイングの操作方法が分かればナザリック周辺の警戒網作成に役立つはず。
おめでとうございます、モモンガ様。
ありがとう、セバス。付き合わせて悪かったな。
主のおそばに控えご命令に従うこと、それこそがタッチミー様によって執事として生み出された私の存在意義です。
そうか。さて、人がいる場所を探してみるか。祭りか？
It is actually concerning that he's now using this mirror of remote viewing. It's actually pretty interesting to see him utilize, as I had hoped that he would utilize more magical items that he has he has in his possession. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's any other artifacts that he will actually use, and how effective artifacts he can actually create himself. Because he is a high-level mage, so he should be able to create quite a wide variety of items that will be probably rather useful in their mission to secure the Tower of Nazarick. So yeah, it's at the very least pretty cool to see this kind of new artifact. And it also shows few things about the main character as well, although now I think I'm just repeating myself from the previous episode.
いえ、これは違います。
野党ではないようだが。
This is actually pretty damn brutal. I'm actually rather surprised that they are showing this unabashedly without any censoring, because it's actually kind of gory. I was not expecting this to actually get kind of that dark immediately. And this also bleeds into what I was talking about in the few episodes. In the first episode, I think I talked about how, or at the very least, actually I think I talked about it in the second episode as well, which is the fact that you need to set up differences in kind to create contrast. So yeah, it's a very, after the levity of the previous two episodes, this kind of cruel reality is actually kind of good, in very heavy contrast to those.
おかしい。この世界にやってくる前であればそっとしていたはずなのに、なぜ冷静に見ていられるのか。
どういたしますか。
見捨てる。助けに行く理由も価値もないからな。
かしこまりました。
トッチソン。ポイントゲット。
あと2匹でクラスチェンジだ。さっさととどめを刺せよ。
異業種が
キモいんだよ。
なぜ見も知らない俺を。
誰かが困っていたら助けるのは当たり前。
どちらにせよ。
Also, kind of, this was mentioned a second ago, but the fact that Sebas is actually a kind of a reflection of the human that created him, Touch, apparently, in this situation. It's actually like I wanted to happen, that some of the NPCs would be a reflection of the human players that created them, which is actually, or at the very least, I feel like that that is the implication here, that the brief glimpse that the Momonga had of Touch behind Sebas is kind of the reflection that Sebas is reflecting the human player who created him. At the very least, that's what I think. And that's pretty cool. That's something that I quite like.
この世界での自分の戦闘能力をいつかは調べなくてはならないわけですしね。
セバス、私はこの村に行く。ナザリックの警備レベルを最大限引き上げろ。はっ。アルベドに完全武装で来るように伝えろ。次に5詰めの準備だ。この村に隠密能力に長けるか、透明化の特殊能力を持つ者を複数送り込め。
かしこまりました。
タッチさん、あなたへの恩を返します。ゲート。
Oh my god, he just casually cast a 9th level spell. That's actually kind of ridiculous. that he casts such a high level skill. At least I'm thinking that the tiers of the spells kind of go hand to hand what they are in D&D, so I'm kind of taking cues from that. Also, I just paused on a really brutal scene. That's quite something. But yeah.
逃げろエンリー逃げるんだ早く行け
ネムが逃げる時間だけは稼がないと。
なんだ
グラスプハート。この世界の人間たちに私の得意とする資料系、その中でも行為の第9位か
Nice. That's. This puts so many things in perspective because my friend, the one who has recommended this series to me, wanted to immediately create a necromancer after watching the series. So this puts quite a few things in perspective because I think he was wanting to create something very close to the Lord Momonga here. And to his credit, even though we are playing with Pathfinder and that doesn't exactly allow for the exact same spells, it goes pretty close. Even that spell, Grasp Heart, has something close to it.
魔法が効かなければ逃げるしかないかと思ったのだが、
化け物
人を殺しても何も感じない。やはり肉体のみならず心までも人間をやめたということか。女子供は追い回せるのに毛色が変わった相手は無理か。せっかく来たんだ。無理やりにでも実験に付き合ってもらうぞ。ドラゴンライトニング。弱い。第5位階魔法程度で簡単に死ぬとは。注意アンデッド作成デスナイト。
死体に乗り移るのか。ユグドラシルとはだいぶ違うな。
デスナイト。
So, talking about necromancy, that's pretty badass. That's actually pretty damn cool. And that's, I think this was the main thing that he wanted to come after. Just raising dead people, because necromancy is pretty cool. Even though it's somehow pretty dark, it's actually kind of cool.
この村を襲っている騎士を殺せ。
え？盾になるモンスターが守るべきものを置いて行ってどうするよ。いや、命令したのは俺だけどさ。
準備に時間がかかり申し訳ありませんでした。
いいや、実に良いタイミングだ、アルベド。
ありがとうございます。それでこの下等生物の処分はどうなさいますか。
とりあえずの敵はそこに転がっている鎧を着た者たちだ。
かしこまりました。
怪我をしているようだな。飲め。
飲みます。だから妹には。お姉ちゃん、ダメだよ。
何なのこれ。完全に信用されていない。何がダメなんだろう。
下等生物風情が。
待て、急ぐな。武器を下げろ。
かしこまりました。
これは治癒の薬だ。早く飲むんだ。
Now, I know that healing spells work quite effectively, but there's one thing that bothers me whenever this is shown in anime, when healing is shown, and that is that it repairs clothes as well, which really doesn't make any sense when healing spells are used. Usually the clothes should stay damaged. I know it's a nitpick, but it's something that bothers me quite a bit.
痛みはなくなったな。
はい。
お前たちは魔法というものを知っているか？
はい。村に時々来られるクス氏の私の友人が魔法を使えます。
そうか。ならば話が早い。私はマジックキャスターだ。アンティライフ国運、ウォール・オブ・プロテクション・フロム・アローズ。守りの魔法をかけてやった。そこにいれば大抵は安全だ。それと念のためにこれをくれてやる。吹けばゴブリンの軍勢がお前に従うべく姿を見せるはずだ。そいつらを使って身を守るがよい。
助けてくださってありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
気にするな。
お名前は何とおっしゃるんですか？
名前？
そうだな。
我が名を知るがよい。我こそがアインズール・ゴウン。
So he actually wants to go by the name Ants Old Gown. That's actually pretty interesting. Now I suppose I should start calling him Ainz after this. So he's actually saving people. He's actually acting like an actual protective lord. So yeah, I want to see him actually be the good guy, even though he's necromancer. Although he's magic caster just in general, so he's not just limited to necromancy. Well, whatever the case may be, I want to see him actually be the good guy, so let's see him save the village. Jesus. They are really going all out with the gore now, aren't they? That's, again, with the timing of the poses, this is magnificent. Just look at that, he's just completely cut in twain. That's pretty damn brutal, if I'm being completely honest. Which, I'm fine with this level of gore, it's just completely normal. I've seen much worse. Yeah, much worse. But it's surprising that they are actually showing gore to this level. It's impressive. Get punked, bud.
逃げない相手には剣を使わない。楽しんでいるのか。
神よ、お助けください。
神よ。貴様ら、あの化け物を抑えよう。俺はこんなところで死んでいい人間じゃない。お前ら、時間を稼げ。俺のためになるんだ。ベーニュース隊長。金をやる。200金か。あ、いや、500金か。1000銀か。
Jesus. So, talking about brutality, holy hell, that's pretty damn gruesome. Just completely just pounding him, strike after strike. It's... yeah, that's really quite something.
落ち着け。絶対だ。合図を出して馬と吸気系を呼べ。残りの人間は時間を稼ぐ。行動開始。
デスナイトよ、そこまでだ。
I want Ainz to come in and be like, that's enough! It's my turn to have some fun. I mean, test out my abilities. That's a ridiculous mask. That's just ridiculous. I mean, it makes sense. He wants to be presentable and be not completely frightening to the commoners. So it makes sense that he wants to disguise himself to look more humane, even though it is clear that he's inhuman. But yeah, it makes sense.
はじめまして、諸君。私はアインズール・ゴウンという。諸君には生きて帰ってもらう。そして諸君の上司、飼い主に伝えろ。この辺りで騒ぎを起こすなら、今度は貴様らの国まで死を告げに行くと。行け。そして確実に我が名を伝えよ
う。演技も疲れるな。
あなた、あなた様は。
この村が襲われていたのが見えたのでね、助けに来たものだ。さて、君たちはもう安全だ。安心してほしい。とはいえ、ただというわけではない。それなりの礼をいただきたい。
営利目的と思われた方が余計な疑いをかけられなくて済むというものか。
Pretty interesting. Actually, this actually goes very much into psychology, so it would have been really kind of quite odd that he would actually do this without any good reason, even though he had a pretty obvious reason. He wanted to test out his powers, but that's obviously something that he cannot divulge into the commoners. So it's actually pretty interesting that there's some psychology work as well into this. I hope that kind of aspect will remain in the show, that human psychology will actually remain a more present part, because being a lord requires you to know some of the human psychology and how human mind works. So it would be pretty cool to see him, you know, kind of theorize of how to actually lord over a people.
しかし、あの姉妹が怯えていたのは俺の骸骨の顔だったのか。ユグドラシルじゃそんなに珍しくはなかったんだがな。面倒だが、彼女たちには口止めが必要か。魔法による記憶操作が有効だといいんだが。
村人たちを安心させるために金銭を要求したが、本当に欲しいのは情報だ。この世界に無知であれば、権力者や私以上の強者に接触した時に大きな弱点となる。朴突の村長夫妻は、私が僻地で研究していた世情に疎いマジックキャスターであるという言い訳を信じ、この世界について知る限りのことを語ってくれた。だが
クリスマスイブに一定時間ユグドラシルにいると問答無用で手に入ってしまうという、ある種呪われたこの通称嫉妬マスクをかぶっていても不審がられないとは。この世界のマジックキャスターとはどんな存在なのだろ
う。まずユグドラシルの通貨はこの世界では流通していないらしい。 金としての価値はあるが、今後使うのは危険かもしれない。次に周辺国家について聞いてみた。この村、カルネ村とナザリックがある一帯。
I actually like this aspect quite a bit, that Ainz is actually going around and asking for information, since information is power, and he clearly knows this. It's actually pretty cool to see him, you know, barter for information. Or, you know, just ask for information just in general. So it's actually pretty cool to see this aspect worked into the show quite a lot. It has now he's actually just going and asking people for information. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see this.
リエスティーゼ王国という国の領土らしい。そして南北に広がる巨大な山脈を挟んで隣接するバハルス帝国という国があるという。二つの国は仲が悪く、国境付近に存在する城塞都市エランテル近くの平野で毎年のように争っているそうだ。そしてもう一つ、両国と国境を挟んで南方にある国家がスレイン王国。盾の紋章から村長は村を襲ったのはバハルス帝国の騎士と推測していたが、リエスティーゼ王国とバハルス帝国の反目を狙ったスレイン王国の偽装である可能性も考慮すべきか。失態だ。騎士の一人は捕まえて情報を引き出すべきだった。
どうかされましたか？
いえ、
This actually also highlights a pretty good aspect of the main character, Ainz, because it also highlights that he is actually considering all of the aspects of this, as he was questioning that he was actually kind of slandering, or he was kind of regretting that he let all of the enemy knights go instead of just capturing one of them and interrogating him for information. It also makes him seem to be very clearly very intelligent, which is, you know, it was already obvious that he was intelligent, but it's pretty good to reinforce that fact. So yeah, it's pretty good.
でもありません。それより他の話を聞かせてはいただけないでしょうか。
はい。村から一番近い都市はエランテルです。この辺りにはゴブリンやオーク、オーガなどのモンスターが出ますが、冒険者たちが巡回しているので、街道沿いに行けばまず安全でしょう。
冒険者。
報酬次第でモンスターを退治する者たちです。エランテルには彼らに仕事を斡旋する冒険者組合があるんですよ。
冒険者組合？そのエランテルの人口はどれくらいでしょうか？
すみません。正確な数字までは。
そうですか。
やはり町にでも行って暮らす必要があるか。
このワンド・オブ・リザレクションがあれば村の死者を復活させることはできるが、死を与えるマジックキャスターと死者を蘇らせることのできるマジックキャスター、どちらが厄介ごとに巻き込まれるかは想像に難くない。状況が変化すれば別だが、今は村を救ってやったことで満足してもらおう。
これでアインズ・ウルゴーンという人物が村人を救ったという情報は広まるだろう。ユグドラシルのプレイヤーが俺以外にもこちらの世界に来ているのならば、できる限り協力したい。そのためには彼らの反感を買わないよう不必要な殺戮は避けるべきだ。それと大義名分も必要だな。どこかの国を後ろ盾にしておくのが望ましいが、はあ、
This is just reinforcing. This is just so much reinforcement of the fact that Ainz is actually working carefully, and he works with a just cause, so that he wants to make himself appear as benevolent as possible, which is pretty cool to see in the main character. It's fulfilling exactly what I want out of him, to be a benevolent ruler, which is, yeah, he's certainly appearing that way, and that's exactly what I want. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with the main character so far.
もういい。
ここですべきことは終わった。アルベド、 撤収するぞ。
承知いたしました。
人間が嫌いか。
脆弱な生き物、下等生物、虫のように踏み潰したらどれだけ綺麗になるかと。
アルベド。だがここでは冷静に優しく振る舞え。演技というのは重要だぞ。
とはいえ、俺も人を殺して何も感じなかった。これはアンデッドになった影響か？
どうしますか村長。
何かいい手は？
また厄介事か。どうかされましたか村長殿。
ああ、アインズ様。実はこの村に騎士風の者たちが近づいているそうで。
なるほど。わかりました。村長殿の家に生き残った村人を至急集めてください。村長殿は私たちと共に広場に。
はい。
私はリエスティーゼ王国王国戦士長ガゼフ・ストロノーフ。この近隣を荒らし回っている帝国の騎士たちを討伐するために王のご命令を受け村々を回っているものである。
王国戦士長。
この村の村長だな。横にいるのは一体誰なのか教えてもらいたい。
この方は？
それには及びません。はじめまして、王国戦士長殿。私はアインズール・ゴウン。この村が襲われておりましたので助けに来たマジックキャスターです。
この村を救っていただき感謝の言葉もない。
戦長。
This is actually pretty surprising that they are not necessarily completely opposed. They are possibly not an opposing side to this conflict, which would be pretty interesting to see. At the very least, this kind of diplomatic exchange will be interesting to see how this will actually play out. So yeah, it's a key moment.
周囲に複数の人影、村を囲むような形で接近しつつあります。
Oh, for goodness sake, it's over. Well, that's that dealt with. It was quite an interesting episode at the very least. I quite liked it because it actually dealt into the psychology of Ainz. Yeah, I suppose I'm gonna have to call him Ainz from now on. It actually dealt in quite a delved into quite a bit of his psychology and how his modus operandi is, and how he wants to operate in a public sense. It was pretty obvious that he's at the very least very intelligent, and he wants to keep up good diplomatic image of himself to be a benevolent, well, not yet ruler, but at the very least powerful, a benevolent third factor in this situation. So it certainly was pretty interesting to see that, and I quite liked how thoughtful and how intelligent he appears to be, and how introspective he at the very least also is, and how much he considers all of his actions and his appearances to matter. So yeah, it's pretty, like, for example, it's also pretty cool to see the world being built quite a bit. We are gaining the information at the same time as he is, which is something very cool, something really quite interesting to see, because and it also makes sense because Ainz doesn't know it, so while he's getting the information, so are we, and that's actually a pretty good way of building the world by having him be completely new to the world. So yeah, it's pretty cool and it's pretty interesting, and I quite liked it. So yeah, it also we got to see some of the magical items a bit more, which is something that also comes in the world building aspect of the story quite a bit, and I also quite liked that, and I would like to see more of that. And of course I liked seeing just generally magic, because it is very reminiscent of D&D, and that is something that I'm a pretty huge fan of, so it's pretty cool to see that, and it's really entertaining. So yeah, I'm just very satisfied with the series so far, and it has been quite entertaining and pretty intriguing at the same time, and it has also been quite has been a pretty good steady drip feed of information at the same time. So yeah, the show does a pretty good job at pacing itself and changing the atmosphere also, because it was not very jovial in this episode. It was actually quite gory, which came as a pretty big surprise. But I'm pretty satisfied with. I'm fine with it being gory, because that's just reality of life. But I'm pretty surprised by that, and actually it's in very good, stark contrast to the previous 2 episodes. So it's actually all pretty good. Pretty good, yeah. I'm just very satisfied with the story so far. That being said, I thank you all very much for watching. I hope to see you in the future. Have a great day and stay awesome. Got move out. Thank you very much for watching.